What's going on, guys? The SSM back again with another video. Thank you for stopping by. I hope you're having a great day so far. And today we're going to be taking a quick look at the Miami Dolphins running back situation coming into the 2021 season. Now, to kick this video off, I know a lot of Dolphins fans have been super critical of the way that Chris Grier and Brian Flores weren't very aggressive to address the running back situation. And I fully understand that. I understand a lot of people were looking for those big splash type of moves for the running back position so that it could be addressed and we've got the one guy and we don't really have to worry so much about running back by committee or hoping that our guys develop. I understand that. And the additions that we made this offseason were minimal. We signed Malcolm Brown in free agency and we drafted Jared Dokes in the 7th round of this year's draft. But something that I think gets lost in that mindset from us fans is an appreciation for the guys that we do have and what they could potentially do on the field, and also the understanding that the improvements that we've made in total across this entire offense are going to directly impact how our running backs perform. So improving the wide receiver core, improving the offensive line, those things are directly going to impact how well our running backs can play on a week-to-week basis. That's 100%. So to talk about the running backs, I want to give you a quick look at all 6 guys we have on roster, who I think is going to start, and then how I think this running backs room is going to balance itself out. So the 6 guys we have on roster, we have Myles Gaskin, we have Malcolm Brown, we have Salvon Ahmed, Jared Dokes, Patrick Laird, and Jordan Scarlett. So 6 guys, it's a high number. I think that'll get shaved down as we get closer to the season. Can't have 6 running backs on roster. I think probably someone like Patrick Laird or Jordan Scarlett are probably going to be cut from the team. Depends kind of on how they play through camps and stuff like that. But 6 guys on roster. Now, who do I think is going to start? I think it's very clear at this point, Myles Gaskin is running back number 1. I believe the team even announced that he's the starting running back come 2021, which I really like. I like Myles Gaskin. I think he has outperformed expectations to just a huge degree. He's played well, and he played well last year. And I think something that people miss out on is they look straight at the stats. You can't just straight up look at the stats of how a player performed in one given year, because there's a lot of variables to the stats that are shown on a screen. For instance, Myles Gaskin played in 10 games. He was hurt almost half of the entire season, and he only started 8 games. So in the 10 games that he played, he had 8 starts. And in 8 starts worth of time, you're not going to be able to put up, enormous numbers, guys who are going to, perform toward the top of the league in the rushing attack. That's just not realistic. It's not going to happen. So you can't just straight up look at the stats from 2020 and say, Myles Gaskin is garbage. He sucks. He's a 7th rounder for a reason. He's no good. You have to think of it in more of a big picture way. You got to look at the broad view of things. So let's talk about Myles Gaskin real quick. And I think he's such an underappreciated piece to this offense. People don't talk about him. People don't talk about why is he so valuable? Why will he be able to solidify our rushing attack? And I want to talk about why I think he has the potential to solidify a rushing attack. Let's go over some numbers. I have my notes here with me. I was writing some stuff down, doing a little bit of research, and I want to talk about Myles Gaskin and what he can do this season. So Myles Gaskin last year, 97.2 yards from scrimmage per game that he played, 4.1 yards per carry, which is great. The 4-yard mark is what you want every running back to hit in the NFL. 584 yards total. Only started in 8 games. Like I said, he's got value in the passing game, which is great. You need a running back in this offensive scheme, and for Tua, who does, check down. He's still learning, so the check downs are going to be there. You need a running back who's going to be able to produce in the passing game and kind of be like a bailout option for Tua, just a kind of safety blanket, a safe option that is going to be there and going to be reliable. So Myles Gaskin, very reliable in the passing game. And his stats were not bad for the 8 games that he started. Now, let me tell you what Myles Gaskin was on pace for. And you tell me whether you would like this on your team or not. And I know not every player is going to play all 16 games. Not every player is going to have the same type of production consistently year-round. So take it with a grain of salt. But still, here's what he was on pace for. Okay, Myles Gaskin was on pace for 996 yards rushing with 6 touchdowns. 62 receptions, 652 receiving yards with an additional 4 touchdowns. That averages out to 1,648 all-purpose yards, 10 total touchdowns. Okay, that's big production, big production. 4 yards away from a 1,000-yard season, over 650 yards receiving from a running back is phenomenal. That's a Pro Bowl type season, in my opinion. Because, there's guys in the league who can produce in the passing game, but sometimes the rushing attack from them suffers. I think Myles Gaskin, healthy, can produce a pretty decent amount for this team, and he's overlooked and underappreciated and undervalued and not talked about enough. Now, let me tell you why I think he can take such a big step forward this year. It comes with two things. Number one, well, I guess three. If he stays healthy, that would be your third. But the number one thing is we've improved our offensive line. We've gone out and we've, addressed positions that will directly impact how Myles Gaskin plays. We picked up Matt Skura at center. I know a lot of people weren't a huge fan of that move, but I think it's a good move. I think Matt Skura is athletic. He is a solid center when he's healthy. And if he can figure out the snapping issues, obviously that's a stupid mental lapse that you don't want your center to have. But Matt Skura, all in all, at the top of his game, is a pretty good player. And he's not going to have to worry, about Matt Skura not being able to perform in the rushing attack, because Skura can do that. He's shown that before. Okay, so we picked up Skura. We drafted Liam Eichenberg, who is also very, very good in the running game. Better as a pass blocker, but formidable. He can do his job in the rushing attack. He climbs the defense extremely well. He's athletic. He'll lay his body out. He'll create holes. And so because we draft Eichenberg, we move Robert Hunt to right guard, we move Solomon Kinley to left guard, and then you've got Austin Jackson, who is also good in the rushing attack at left tackle. So all 5 positions have been addressed. Maybe 4 with the exception of Austin Jackson, because he's already been there. So you've got 4 positions on the offensive line that are switching and becoming upgrades. I think Skura is an upgrade from Ted Karras. I think Solomon Kinley is easily an upgrade over Eric Flowers. I think Robert Hunt is an upgrade at right guard. And I think that Liam Eichenberg is an upgrade above Robert Hunt at right tackle. So your offensive line improving is going to make your running back improve. The second thing that's going to help Myles Gaskin take a step up this season, the way that we addressed our wide receivers group. Okay, drafting Jalen Waddle, fastest player in the draft, kept up with Henry Ruggs, blew past Eric Stokes, okay, is a burner. We also picked up Will Fuller in free agency. Those are 2 guys who stretch the field. And because we have both of those guys, and you pair them with Devontae Parker, with Mike Gesicki, with Preston Williams, we have so many options that will work down the field, that the defenses that we face simply, there's no way that they could afford to bring their safeties closer to the line. There's no way that you're going to be able to play single high safety against the Dolphins consistently. It won't work. It will not happen, because if that's what you're doing, Jalen Waddle, Will Fuller, they're going to blow right past you. They're fast guys. Jalen Waddle runs in the high 4.2s. Will Fuller runs in the 4.3s. Okay, they're going to blow past you. Your safety is going to have no help. Nothing that they can do about that. You've also got Devontae Parker, who's a big play type guy. Obviously he's a high point, possession type wide receiver, but he can high point the ball as good as anybody else. Mike Gesicki's the same type of tight end. So you can't play single high safety. You can't bring a safety close to the line. There's no way. And that's going to help Myles Gaskin, because that makes sure that your offensive line, more often than not, probably won't be outnumbered. Okay, so the blocking schemes are going to be easier. Their assignments will be better for them, and they won't have to, feel the pressure of being outnumbered. So that directly impacts Myles Gaskin. And I think we have a lot of guys on our line. Most of our guys on our line can handle their blocking assignments one-on-one. Okay, I think that it'll be fine. I think that directly impacts him. Should improve his game. I think Myles Gaskin can be potentially a 1,000-yard rusher on this team. I definitely think so, and he brings the value as a pass catcher. So that's my number 1 guy. I know I was a little long-winded with it, but that's my guy. I think that he can certainly take a huge step forward. He should be talked about more, and he should be talked about as one piece that the Dolphins could really, really appreciate at the end of this season. All right, so let's talk Malcolm Brown. Malcolm Brown is a big power back, played well in Los Angeles with the Rams, 4 yards a carry, always, like I said earlier in the video. That's a good change of pace from Myles Gaskin. This is someone who's going to be goal line, short yardage situations, and he's going to get that for you. He is not the best in the passing game, but he can do it a little bit. but primarily he's going to be used as a short yardage type running back. I think that's a great change of pace. And he's someone who's hard-nosed. He's going to come in, he's going to work his butt off, and he's going to do his job. That's fine. Salvon Ahmed, showed some flashes last year. He's going to be the third stringer on this team. I don't think he's going to see a ton of time on the field, maybe situational downs occasionally. But he can do it a little bit in the passing game, and he runs super hard. So I do like that about him. He's got, a chip on his shoulder is what he plays like. So I like Salvon Ahmed. Jared Dokes, we drafted him in the 7th round. I have a video on that if you want to check it out. Got Patrick Laird, the intern. He's one of the guys that I think will probably be on the chopping block. Him and Jordan Scarlett might be, kind of competing to stay on the team. And then you've got Jordan Scarlett, who's another just big-bodied power back who's not going to really bring much more value than short yardage situations. So that's what a running backs group looks like. Not as bad as I think other people are making it out to be. I think that there is a good deal of potential between Myles Gaskin, Malcolm Brown, and Salvon Ahmed. I think, and really Jared Dokes too. I think those are 4 guys who could, regularly give you valuable time on the field. I think especially Myles Gaskin and Malcolm Brown. So I think this is being blown out of proportion to be, a horrible running backs group, a group that's never going to give you anything. They're going to suck, and that's the biggest hole on this team. While it might be a hole, I think on paper, you've got to give more credibility, more credit to the potential of Myles Gaskin, what he was on pace for last year. Take away those injuries, even take away, a few games. What if he played 13 games? What kind of production would you look at then? So I want to know how you guys feel down below. What do you think of our running backs group? What do you think of Myles Gaskin? Do you see the potential like I see the potential? Let me know down below, guys. I appreciate you stopping by. That's it for the video today. Keep your eyes open for some more content coming very soon, and I'll see you next time. Have a great night, guys. Take it easy. Fins up.